Hi there and welcome back. We left off yesterday testing some orzhov decks and trying to see if we can't tweak them a little bit to make them playable and start ranking with them. We noticed yesterday that going wide didn't seem to work for some reason. Maybe it was just because of the bad matchups, but something about the deck told me that it didn't really work the way I wanted it to. So I've been looking a little bit at my cards, and I went back to a combination of cards that I think is extremely powerful. It is actually a combo, and it has been played before. I'm just not sure if we have the option to really play it. The cards I'm talking about is a Bloodletter of Aklasots, which is a 2/4 flying, but whenever your opponent loses life during your turn, they lose twice that much life instead. Now combining that card with Rush of Dread, and suddenly your opponent loses the game because of the last ability on this card. Target opponent loses half their life rounded up. It's life loss, which means it also triggers the Bloodletter. So basically, once it's out on the field, if you have the 5 mana to pay for this one, it's an interesting card to play. Also, you can deal with part of his board in creatures, as you can take away about half of his creatures, again rounded up, and then you can have him discard half of the cards in his hand, also rounded up. So it's an interesting card to play. I'm a little bit afraid it might be on the slow side, but I'm going to try it anyway in this deck. The rest of the deck remains pretty much the same as it was, except I've taken out the Soul Cauldrons to make a little bit of room, and I have taken out 2 of the board wipes and put in 2 targeted wipes, 2 targeted removals instead. We're still playing the Frontier Seeker, as I'm hoping it will dig deep enough to get one of our 2 mounts, and I'm also hoping that it will help us get our lands. Delney's still in the deck, as it does help us to double our triggers whenever we have them from certain creatures. That would be Frontier Seeker, that would be Fortune Loyal Steed, that would be Bronco, of course the Lord Skitter's Butcher, Preacher of Chisholm. So we have a lot of cards that do get boosted by Delney. One card I am considering taking out in this configuration is Giza the Hellraiser, as we are targeting less, we are committing less crimes. On the other hand, this one still commits crimes, and we do have all our spot removals, which also means we target them, except for the Sheldred's Edict, which doesn't target, so this one isn't a crime. But we still have the Demolition Field, which would still target, so I think we might still be in a good place where this goes. I'm going to test this today. Having a combo in this format is definitely worth the while. Only question is, can we play it hard enough? I am considering a Rakdos build around the same combo, and then utilizing the cards that we have there, like for example the Jasper Flint, which is a really nice card, and we can just slowly build up to it. And I'm thinking hard removal, a lot of it, combined with the card value of the other cards. So this is definitely not a great start. We have no removal whatsoever. We don't have any drop in the first 2 turns. But I'm going to try it anyway, because right now we're not playing ranked. So right now we're in a testing phase, and I think it's important to know what your deck can do, even if you have a crappy hand like this. We do have 3 out of the 4 mana we need. We know that there is quite a lot of removal in the deck, so drawing into the removal there's a pretty good chance we will. There we have the first removal, and we have the Surveil here. So I'm pretty confident that we might be able to catch up. We already drew into our removal. We already drew into our Loyal Steed. Um, So there we go. This one comes into play tap, so we might as well just play it. So as expected, we're not in the greatest spot right now. He does have some removal, it seems. I'm still going to try and take the chance with the Loyal Steed, see what happens, as it still provides us with an opportunity to scry. I think this is a tough spot to be in. We need the land, but we also know that if we put it in this direction, it's going to be a lost scry from the land itself, because we know what the next card is as well. So this is a little bit tricky. On the other hand, if he doesn't remove the steed, we have the butcher, and then we can scry with the butcher. So that's the removal, like I said. So yeah, it's not a great spot that we're in right now. We know what that is. We're just gonna put this one down. So we are in a little bit of a tight spot here, but we knew we started with a less than ideal hand. Oh, Rush of Dread. So he's playing the same card we are. That's a little bit painful. So right now, I don't really seem to have a choice. We're just going to put a red down. Yeah, I'm going to put the red down. That gives us 2 creatures, and maybe we can sacrifice 1 token later on with the Lord Skitters, and then we can get... there we go again. Yeah, so this is not good. This is really not good. Yeah, let's just attack with this one. It's not going to make much difference. He's just going to block it. What worries me right now is we know he plays the Dread. This is the 5th land, so if he has one in his hand, we are in trouble. He doesn't. That's our next land. We definitely need to improve our game state, so we're going to sacrifice this creature. And this is not what we need, so we don't need lands right now. We need solutions. So, yeah, and there we draw another land. I don't know what's been with the lands today. I've been playing a few test games, and lands just don't seem to work in my... Don't seem to be in... Yeah, let's pay that one. So it looks like lands are not on our side today. Yeah, not much we can do about that. Like I said, we keep drawing lands here, which is absolutely amazing. For a deck playing just 23 lands, pulling these many lands, that's... there we go. Lucky we took out the Bloodletter a few minutes ago, because it would have been game. Yeah, there's not much we can do here. He is draining us, and it's game. all we can do is just deal with this one, as we are getting very low on life. I think there's no real choice but to take out our creature. Yeah. So here we do get our tokens, and let's just attack with everything we've got. He doesn't know we have a swamp in our hand, and we could next turn play Restless Fortress and put it turn it into a creature, giving us. But okay, so we did it one turn late, but even if we did it last turn, we would still have been at -1. So it seems like in this case we were just at a bad start, and keeping it wasn't a good choice. So right now I'm just looking at the options. Not sure this deck will ever get to the point where I want it or need it to be. So we're gonna see. Yeah, let's put the swamp in first. It gives us access to our removal. We have 4 nice cards in our hand. We do have 3 mana. Here is the white that we needed. Let's just end the turn here. So depending on what we draw next turn, I'm actually considering Preacher. Although we are up against black, so there's a good chance that he's going to counter us. But even if he does, oh, he's not going to counter us. That's really nice. It's really nice to know. Because that means we can put the Preacher down now. We have value on the board now. And that's definitely something I wanted. So, question is, what are we going to do here? I could risk it with the Seeker, hoping for another land, another plains, in which case I could then play the Edict and have the door open, or I could just go for the Edict and then hit him. I think the Seeker in this case is the better option. There we go. That's our land, so we don't miss our land drop this turn, which is really nice. Even though it came into play tapped, we didn't miss our land drop, so removal is... I have a feeling that removal in this game is going to be important, so I'm going to go for it. We are up against blue, so the chances for counters is pretty big. Blue-green definitely, that's a Kami. So having extra removal is always a good thing, I think. Yeah, I like the Bronco. The Bronco is going to put more pressure on the field. And I want to get rid of the Kami while we still can. The disadvantage is he can now use his I Got a Soul Cauldron, put a counter on Elijah, which is not great, but I'm going to attack anyway. Yeah, and then he's going to put a counter on it. We lose our creature, but that is fine with me. Yeah, that's okay. So like I said, that's exactly what he was going to do. But again, we didn't miss our land drop. next turn we actually have an interesting turn to play, depending on what he's gonna do. Jace, okay. So Jace, I got a Soul Cauldron. Is gonna be pretty powerful here. Yep, that's fine. Mm-hmm. So first of all, we're gonna convince him that he has to sacrifice one of his creatures. He can choose which one, but one of them is gonna go. Yep, resolve. Good. I like that because that allows us to saddle our Bronco, and let's just see how much we can do with that. Nice. Let's go to damage. So this was a really nice thing to get because now I have the Fortune Loyal Steed on the board. Allows us to scry. I don't need the land. I do want the removal. So we're in a pretty decent spot here. Yep, that's okay. I don't mind you doing that. That's okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. So he's going infinite mana here. Really nice. So we're seeing a nice combo here. So it's a good game. He's just going to keep digging until he wins the game here. Didn't see that one coming, I have to be honest about that. Really nice to see it. He's going infinite, and then there is nothing we can do about it. My fault. I should have seen that one coming. I didn't. That was my mistake. But yeah, let's just call it a good game here and not waste too much more time because he's just going to keep on going until he can take us out in one shot. So yeah, interesting game to play. I completely overlooked that. My mistake. Because we could have gotten rid of the creature. We did have one card in our hand, which would have moved half these creatures rounded up, with only one creature that's still single target removal. So this one is a really risky hand to keep. But we do have our two colors. We do have second turn drops, so I'm going to do it anyway. This one comes into play tapped. Not much we can do about that. Two or fewer, so we can just play it. Let's see, that's the Bronco. put the Bronco on the field. And with a little bit of luck next turn, we can put the Lord Skitter's Butcher on the field. And then we're just gonna hit him with a Bronco and see what happens. Unless, of course, he removes it, which he doesn't. Okay. Now the real question is, are we going to use the Bronco right here and right now? I could play this one, and I think that's the smarter choice. No, I'm not going to settle it. The problem is he has the ability to bark the Bronco right now, so that means we get only one shot, and I think one-shotting it would be better with a Lord Skitter's Butcher because we can first scry and put a really nice card on top, which is what I want to do. Forsaken Miner can't block, so that's nice. Okay, now that does change things a little bit. My original idea was to use the Lord Skitter. I'm not going to do it in this case. Because this one can't block, he's tapped out. So if I saddle Bronco now, we can attack with Bronco all out. Triggers twice. And triggering twice is interesting. But not what we were hoping for. Gonna put the Crystal Grotto in here. Do we want the Steed? Yes, we do. And just to finish it off, we're gonna put the Flitch Gorger down as well. Enter. So we have a little bit of pressure on the board now. We have a little bit of life gain. We have the Steed coming up. Yep, he's gonna mill. There's not much we can do about that. The good thing about the Souls of the Lost is that as long as Delny's on the field, our opponent can't block us with it. That's another one from each other. Yeah, let's discard. Let's discard Demolition Field. He is playing black, so there's a good chance that at some point he's going to remove the Delny. That's another creature that can't block. So our main advantage right now is he doesn't have the creatures to block. There we go. So if I had kept the Demolition Fields, I would have actually been able to play both of them. I think in this case that the Steed is the better choice, as we do get the double scry here, and the scry is definitely what we want. So I don't know what it is with the land today, but we are getting so much land. So this one doesn't have the ability to block. This one doesn't have the ability to block at the moment because of Delny. Any creatures we have with power 2 or less can't block. So I'm going to saddle him. This one has Summoning Sickness. This one has... let's do this one. Submit 5. We're going to go to combat. Delny into this. And those two into here. 3 attacker, 2 Broncos. Those lands keep on coming. next to blockers and to damage. Let's put the land down and let's end the turn here. So not on my watch is going to be used for the souls of the lost. Hoping that's going to be enough, but he's still going to hit us for at least 8. So it's going to be a painful turn here. On the other hand, with a little bit of luck, next turn might just be game for him. Because I'm going to use the Flesh Gorger with the Loyal Steed. I'm going to use the Skitter's Butcher for the Bronco. And then we're still going to hit him for a decent amount of damage. Discard card turn 2, okay. So I'm pretty curious to see what he's going to do here. He's definitely going to try and hit hard. The advantage with the Lord Skitter coming into play next turn is it's going to trigger twice, so we can get 2 tokens. So that means we can actually, yep, we can actually hit really, really hard. So I'm curious to see what exactly he's going to do now. It's definitely not an easy game, but I'm hoping we might just pull a win here. Just not sure what to expect yet. If he can make our removal useless, then ooh, that's painful. Yeah. Ooh. Now that does change things a little bit. Yeah. Good game, I think, here. Yeah. I'm just gonna hit him with everything. I'm gonna saddle Bronco with this one and this one. Submit 4. And then we're just gonna hit him with everything we've got. So yeah, that was a win. But we saw the Callous Swordsman. So without the removal, we would have been toast. And that is actually something that we see quite regularly. Let's play a little bit of rank today. So the decks that have been working very well in rank until now have been our Landfall deck. And I'm actually going to play this one because it's one of my favorite decks at the moment. It's been doing really well, really consistent, and it brought us to Platinum, so let's play it. The Bloodletter combo is actually a deck. It's actually a combination I was thinking about using in the Rakdos deck. I'm just not really sure how to incorporate it yet. It is, in this case, it's going to be 6 slots, so we need to find them. I do have Swamp Mountain. Let's keep this. We got some early time removal. We've got a little bit of life gain. And next turn we can even Surveil for 2. Yep, that's the one I want. So with Theater, we're going to go for Swamp. Then we have our 3 colors. And we are in a good spot. Kokla Yediaro is a card that I actually like. It's a little bit high mana, but the fact that you can deal with an artifact or an enchantment in the current format is definitely a good thing. and also it gives you a card draw, even if it is 4 mana to do so. On the other hand, you do have a 7/7 that can either fight or trample its way through something. So yeah, yeah. Let's just keep it this way. There's no need to put the removal on the bottom. Yeah, you can use it as a removal. I'm fine with that. We want to play these lands as much as we can and as early on as we can. Not only because they shuffle our deck, but also they provide us with the cards in our graveyard that we actually need in the graveyard, as we are going to bring them all back again as soon as the... Yep. Yep. And let's just deal with it. Let's be done with it. We could have taken the damage and I could have kept the removal, but I think in this case we're not in a position that we can really do anything about it. Let's just get rid of the creature, because I really don't like having it there. And the fact is, we can use one of the 2 Koklas to deal with this card if we need to later on. But we're just 2 mana away from actually playing it hard casting it. So considering the current situation, I'm... No, let's just keep it at this. Archfiend of Draws. Can't really do anything about it right now. I know there are tricks to give it to your opponent when it doesn't have any counters, or first you give it to your opponent, then you take away the counters, and then... In fact, yeah, that's the one. Pass. There's not much we can do about that. Oof, I don't like that. My turn. So we can't really do much about that. But let's get rid of the Archfiend to start with. We have to discard something. Yeah, let's discard the Brotherhood's End. And we're just gonna block. He might have something for the blocker here, but I don't know. Worst case scenario, we have an extra in our hand, so yeah. So I don't really know what he's planning right now. Maybe he's digging for some kind of removal, I don't know. Yeah, not really what I was hoping for, but let's wait. I want to see, what does this do? No, I don't want him to have the ability to for any card he wants. Drawing a card, let's play that one. All attack. So we are in trouble here. Why didn't I keep my creature as a blocker? Well, first of all, because it has menace. Second of all, this one, and then we are pretty much close to game here. Yeah, so I don't know what it is with the lands today, but it's been like that every single game. It's starting to annoy me a little bit. I have had test games today where I started with one land on my hand, and still I drew 8-9 lands in a row. And then considering that I'm actually filtering out my lands as well, that's just annoying. So yeah, nothing we could do here. So it's not a good day. It's definitely not a good day. Yeah, I was hoping that. What does this one do? Yeah, let's just play this one. Let's just play our Rakdos, our Journey 2 deck. It's also a deck that's been performing pretty decent in the last few weeks. So as you can see, I am definitely still searching for the right balance in my decks, the right card combinations to see what we can do. Yeah, let's keep it. We have 3 mana, we have removal, we have double removal now, so yeah, let's keep it that way. Next, end turn. Playing black, so that means he has removal as well. Yeah, let's resolve it, and then let's just get rid of it. I want the Jasper Flint next turn, so by playing the mountain now, I'm not revealing the new card in my hand, which means he knows 3 out of 4, and not knowing the 4th is always useful. That's the removal. So when you're up against mono black, there's going to be enough removal. No doubt about that. Uh, yeah, I don't want to miss my land drop. And then we're just going to take out his creature. The swamp could have been just as good as an option. Might even have been better because it would have had 2 black, 2 red. And I doubt very much he's going to play many non-basic lands. This one is a little bit harder to deal with right now. So we're definitely not in a good spot. Nothing seems to be working today. There it is again. It's a card I really didn't want to see. No, let's keep the land in our hand. I want to keep him guessing. Even though he's pretty much guessed that it's not that special of a card. There's a good chance he has some more removal. There we go. Yeah, there's not much we can do about that. Looks like this might just be game again. There's not much we can do here. Furnace the Rains. We're going to take over this one. Then we're going to put the swamp down. We're going to hit him. We're gonna deal with these two. And let's just put this one down as well while we're at it. So this is where I really am missing the... I got a Soul Cauldron. This is not what we needed. Yeah, let's just hit him. He has 4 life gain here. With flying, we can't block it. So we're just going to have to take the hits right now. There's not much we can do about that. And there we are, another land. This is just getting ridiculous. I'm not even going to play anymore. This is absolutely ridiculous today. We are getting one land after the other. It doesn't matter which deck I play. It doesn't matter how I'm playing it. So let's just try another deck here. Let's take the 5. We are hitting an enormous amount of lands today. And that's honestly really starting to bug me. I am a player who doesn't play much lands in the first place. I don't really play that many. Yeah, let's keep it. We have our 3 mana, we have our colors, we have our basic removals, we have a creature up against black again. Yeah, we're gonna put this one in first. Next one we're gonna put in is gonna be the swamp. And then yeah, let's discard this one. It's gonna take too long for us to use it anyway. Ooh, tiny bones. Don't like tiny bones. It's gonna hurt us. Yeah, not much we can do there. I'm gonna put the spring in here and then the scoundrel. And I'm definitely gonna go for the treasure token. Not gonna go for attack. He probably doesn't want to get rid of his tiny bones. I am gonna block it if he doesn't deal with Charming Scoundrel. I'm still gonna block this one. That's the one card I definitely want to get rid of. Yeah, we don't have a choice here. We're just gonna autoplay it. We can't really be picky right now. We are in trouble and we need to do something about it. So I'm just gonna put this one in. Yeah, let's get that one. And then I'm gonna tap this one for red, this one for black, this one for red, and we're gonna deal with the creatures again. Not much we can do there. And the card that we mill is another land. Great. So the lands keep on coming here. Yeah. And now that we really need a land, we're not getting one. So yeah, that's typical for what we don't need. Yeah, it's game, so I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna lose 1 life and then he wins. Because it's, yeah. We are extremely heavy on the removal. We are extremely heavy on the pressure as well in some of these decks, and still, for some reason, we are completely drawing Bupkis there. So last game of the day. Let's see what we can get. So again, 4 lands, starting hand, high mana cost. Let's just keep it. This seems to be the menu of the day. So yeah, who wants to bet that we're not gonna get that 5th land now? Now that we have 5 mana cost, who wants to bet that we're not gonna get the 5th? Yep, we get removal, but we get the removal we don't need, which is the one that doesn't work on artifacts, and he has the artifacts here, so yeah. It's a little bit of a frustrating day. Yep. Go ahead, my friend. There we go. No, 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 cancel. That's not the one I wanted. My mistake. This is the one I was looking for. The thing is, he can choose a color here, and then we can't block it. So I might as well just attack with everything I've got. He's playing Phyrexians. That means that there's a lot of artifact creatures. There's another one we can't get rid of. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough day. We did get our 5th land, which is rather interesting. Yep, I can live with that. He gets 3 life, I know, but that's okay. Yep. Resolve. So next turn, I'm just going to burn down the house. Yep, that was expected. 3 life. I can't target it, so we're just going to burn it down. And to be quite honest, I don't mind playing a burn down the house right now. Double strike toxic. We can't block it thanks to the defector might. So yeah, having that 5th is definitely gonna help us out here. We're just double strike. That means we lose it. Let's do it anyway. He might want to block the token because that one won't do any damage in that case, thanks to his double strike. The Dread Knight would still do 1 damage, or at least 2 damage. There we go. So now he gets only 3 damage instead of 5, which is a pretty decent math. But we still have burned down the house. Let's burn it all down. So we are ahead on the mana. We do have an option to cycle now. I'm not going to do it, as next turn I have an extra card draw from the Dread Knight. The fact that we're ahead on mana is nice. We have a single removal here as well. This actually does make it interesting. I'm just going to put it down. I'm going to get rid of all of his creatures. We're going to play this one. And then we're just going to hit him for 4. I think that's a pretty decent turn. And then next turn we have the Dread Knight, the Charming Scoundrel. Ooh. And we can get rid of that one as well. Let's start by getting rid of this. Let's put this one down. I want to put some extra pressure on the board, so I'm going to play the Wicked token here. So next turn we can actually play the Burn Down the House in case we need to remove something from the field, or we can put extra pressure on the board and just go all out. Yep. So he is at 5. So, and like I said, we had 2 options here. The choice is easy. We're just going to overwhelm him and take him out. So hey, we did finish this session with a positive note. We won at least 1 game. So we're still in platinum. But it definitely wasn't a good day to play. So I'm hoping for a better day next time. I might be looking at upgrading our Rakdos and see if I can't put that combo in there. I do have those 6 cards, so if I could put it in there and maybe use it, I think that would be a very interesting game to play. So another gold card. So we do have another rare wild card. That's really nice. So we're starting to save up. We have our 4th Frontier Seeker. It's also nice. So yeah. This isn't a bad common, to be honest. Rodeo Pyromancers. Getting 2 extra mana each turn. It's also in your opponent's turn, so that could be an interesting card. Just too bad it's 4 mana for 3/4 and it doesn't do much more than that. Still, for a common, it's not a bad thing. So yeah, have a great night. See you next time, and I'll definitely be back. So we had our Journey Build 3 here. We noticed last time it doesn't really work. So I'm going to take that one apart again, and we're going to start completely over with those strategies. But we'll see that. Bye-bye, take care, and see you next time.